Well, good evening, everybody. I want to give a shout out to the tarot readers. Um, I want to speak on a couple of topics tonight, and I'm gonna kind of like freestyle. I want to speak on a lot of issues that's been going on with the gang stalking, witchcraft, and different other styles of magic people are out there performing. Um, I had prayed to God to lock down my information and my children because people, were getting readings on my family. So shout out to the tarot again. Sorry guys, I had to lock it down for a little bit, but you're gonna be good now. My name is Sharitha Joyner. Everybody knows me as Rita. I've been sitting back over a few months now and basically letting God work on me. Basically empowering myself, others, as I always have my entire life. Anybody that knows me for that. Um, if I ever met you and we had a bad experience, I apologize, but if we did, I'm pretty sure it was misunderstood. But with that being said, we're all in this world together. And it seems like we're all fighting not for the same thing or for the same person, but for ourselves. There is no togetherness in this world at all, not even with family. God is not pleased. He hasn't been pleased for a long time. And people don't listen. We don't listen. We go by our day every day, and we don't think about the things that, you know, God is doing, blessing us, protecting us. We go by our day and we don't think of anybody else. You rarely see people speak being courteous to one another. We don't have that. It's me against the world, literally. We all need someone. I don't care what position we're in and where we are in our lives. We all need someone. Unfortunately, a lot of relationships over the years have been burned because of people not getting along, disloyal, people, lying on other people, people trying to do bad things against other people lying on other people's name, their character. That's assassinating someone's character. And then you have, the imposters, people that try to be like other people or look like other people, act like other people. And then you have the jealousy. Everyone is jealous. I can't say everyone. For those that are jealous, the problem with jealousy, it leads to envy, and envy leads worse from there, basically. I think it's sad when you hear of people getting to the point where they're so insecure in themselves that they feel like they have to mock someone, or do something to get back at that person, or they think to hurt the person that they're jealous or envious of. When you set out to hurt someone or do something against someone, you're not hurting that person. You're only hurting yourself. And you're setting yourself up for situations and circumstances in your life that you're not equipped to handle or you don't want to be in. I think that it's sad, and it really hurts me to see people in that manner. I never wanted to look at someone in that manner as far as hating me, disliking me because of my character, because of the way I act, because of my loyalty, because of my courtesy, my niceness, my friendship. Not because of any negativity I've done against them, or plenty of experiences they may have had with me that wasn't good. So it really, it's kind of like sad. I can't explain what I mean by the level of sad. For someone to think so low of themselves that they have to act like someone else, or, feel like they have to go and maybe date someone the person used to see, and, you know, have kids, and all of these things are envious things that you're doing against yourself, because you're stuck with those consequences, not that person. And it could turn out to be not a good one, because then you put yourself in a predicament. And if there's someone else involved, like a friend or someone that the person you're envious of used to deal with, now they're gonna shun away from you too, because now you've shown your true self to them to even make the move to go behind that person's back. And you're supposed to be, a friend. And even if you're not, the whole purpose is it shouldn't be happening. That doesn't affect that person's life, or even me, for saying things that people do. And I want to state this: things that people set out to do to me doesn't hurt me. It doesn't hurt me at all. And there's no magic or power you have in the world that can defeat my God. So every little trick you try to do, mind game, the candle games, the moon games, the witchery, whatever you're trying to cook up against me and any associate of God, is not going to turn out good for you. And vengeance is mine, said the Lord. And God's vengeance is not like man's vengeance. Over a few months, I've noticed a lot of attacks on, God's people. People doing a lot of envious things, people speaking negatively, lying on people's character, being deceptive, um, stealing people's energy, trying to, I should say, or wishing bad on someone and going to the extreme to where it's interfering with your life, where you're paying for work to be done on people, or you're getting together with a group of people to antagonize someone or you think hurt that person. You could never hurt a child of God. Never. And for those who think that, whatever they're doing just to address this against me or any member of my family, it's not gonna happen. And I had stated that before. Any kind of drama, whatever magic you think you're doing or you're trying to send my way, it's not gonna work. It never did, never will. You could never defeat a child of God. It doesn't matter how you come at me or anyone that's doing work for the Lord. That is a very bad decision. And I'm pretty sure by now a lot of you have realized that, karma has come around quicker than normal. I don't know if a lot of people notice, but, it seems when people do things to you or other people, it seems that things happen quicker, you know. So you need to be very mindful of the things that you do. God is no longer just sitting back and watching his people be hurt. And we're carrying his messages, okay? Don't shoot the messenger. God gave us these gifts. God, he chose us. We didn't choose ourselves and say, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And you do have a lot of people in, sheep's clothing that are wolves, that are, saying that they are a child of God. They're here to do God's work. And I'm not saying anyone in particular or that, someone in particular is bad. We do have them out there. We do. When you're leading God's sheep astray, you're lying and portraying to be someone that you're not. That's very offensive to God. Very. You have a lot of people out there like that. And a lot of them are teaching people negative things and the wrong things, and they have to answer to God for that. But we're here delivering messages from God. We're doing what God asks us to do. These are gifts that God gave us. We didn't say, hey, I'm gonna be a leader, or I'm gonna be a psychic, or I'm gonna be a speaker. God chose every ability and gift that his people have. So it's not anything that you or anyone can do to stop that. It's ordained. That's God's plan. And because you may not like that plan doesn't mean God is going to say, okay, let me sit and think about this, or let me change it because this person doesn't like it. That's not how it goes. And it doesn't matter how you try to belittle that person, harass that person, lie on that person, be envious against that person, try to send attacks to that person. That's never going to stop what God has ordained for that person's life. And no amount of prayer is going to ever break up a union that God ordained. You have a lot of karmics going, in several directions. It's just you hear about karmics here, karmics that, karmics. You have older. I mean, it's not even an age limit. I remember a time where I would see older women and, I would expect to get wisdom from them. And I'm not saying older people don't have wisdom nowadays. You have a majority. Now their focus is a lot like the younger kids, you know. Everybody is going in so many different awkward directions. It's like the world is just spinning mad. And God is trying to send every kind of distraction to mankind. And people are not getting it. We have the plagues, and Revelations is unfolding daily. For those who read the Bible, if you notice Revelations, it's like it's unfolding as if it's really at that time happening again. We're nearing the resurrection, of good. God is tired and annoyed with all the evil, the wrongdoing that's going on. We're at a day and age where people accept lying, disloyalty, being dishonest, being deceptive, being violent, being disrespectful. There's no form of respect in the world, it seems, anymore. And we have a lot of chaos. You have parents against kids, kids against parents, husbands against wives, wives against husbands, siblings against siblings. And then you have the karmic families and the karmic relationships and, males and females. So there's a lot of chaos going on in the world. And nobody seems to want to stand for what's right and what's good. You know, a lot of people cloak themselves because they don't want to draw attention to themselves, you know, because they may not feel comfortable in certain situations. Like if you're around people and you notice someone is picking on someone, or, you know, going out of their way to harass or talk about the person, or, you know, just for no reason, you know, harass the person. You know, you as a person know that that's not the right thing to do and it's not right. So instead of you, you know, speaking up, you just, well, I'm going to mind my business. And that's the problem. If your child or someone you love was in a critical situation, now, would you want people to say, well, should I help or should I mind my business? You have to think when you're doing things or you're in the middle of something, you really do have to be mindful and say, okay, if I do this, now, what I want it done to me? Or what if my loved one was in that situation? You know? um, would I want someone to help them? Of course. You know? Of course. So, it's the same courtesy, you know. We seem to not want to stand up for good and what's right, you know. Too many of us, we turn our head. We don't want to be involved. We just don't want the drama because you don't want to stand out in a crowd or be mocked for your decision, you know. We have to end that attitude, because if we keep going on in the world with the attitude, nothing is never going to change. And it seems like it doesn't matter um, to what level of bad it gets in the world, it just keeps getting accepted. You know, you have a few people standing up, you know, for what's right, but you have the majority that just goes with the flow. You know, everybody want to be cool. Everybody want to be accepted, noticed, you know, want to be with the crowd. And they're embarrassed to, you know, stand out and be their own person because they don't want to be, you know, mocked or bullied because of it. But that's the problem in the world. We have to change that. God does not like